Tuesday, December 4. It is day 2 of the 2019 National Budget Debate, and we have lots to tell you. President David Granger this morning left Ghana for the Republic of Cuba for a second round of treatment at the Center for Medical Surgical Research. The head of state, who is accompanied by First Lady Sandra Granger, revealed that the medical center has drafted a schedule of treatment which will run until May 2019. He also stated that after this round of treatment, he will have to return to Cuba later this month for the third cycle of chemotherapy. President Granger has expressed his appreciation to everyone who sent their well wishes for his full and complete recovery. Read a full release from the ministry on our website. On Monday, Minister of State Joseph Hartmann chastised the opposition for its false claim of $1 billion of travel spending by the president's team. Stacey Carmichael has the details.
Minister of State Joseph Hartmann has stated categorically that the president's team has not at any point spent $1 billion on travels as alleged by opposition Member of Parliament Irfan Ali on Monday during the 2019 National Budget debates.
In fact, the exact amount spent in 2015, 2016, 2017 and 2018 to date comes up to $212,345,072, which comprises the year 2015, $60,880,000, 2016, $44,773,000, 2017, $42,764,882, and in 2018, $64,431,261. These were all visits made in the interests of the development of our country, and certainly, by no stretch of the imagination, can you convert 212 million to 1 billion. So I want to nail that lie that was told in the National Assembly today.
Meantime, Minister Hartmann dubbed the 2019 national budget, which was presented by Finance Minister Winston Jordan on Monday, November 26, as a people's budget.
Everything that you can look at, over 300 billion, $300.7 billion, it's about investing in the people of Guyana. Be it education, which takes the bulk of the budget, I think about 52 billion, be it public infrastructure, be it health, be it social protection. All of these areas speak about an investment in people, investment in the health of our people, investment in the education of our people, and investment in the public infrastructure, those things which add to a good quality of life for the people of this country.
This is the coalition government's fifth budget to date. Reporting from Parliament buildings with videographer Kareem Peters, Stacey Carmichael for InfoHub.
Minister of Public Health Wally Lawrence today dispelled claims of drug shortages and more. Details in this Stacey Carmichael report.
The second day of the 2019 National Budget debates began with a presentation by opposition Member of Parliament Dr. Frank Anthony. He claimed there are drug shortages, unavailability of beds at the Georgetown Public Hospital, among others. Minister of Public Health Wally Lawrence, speaking on the sideline of the debate, responded to these claims.
As we speak, our health facilities, our hospitals, should have not less than 70 to 75% of the drugs and medical supplies. Yes, there are shortages of some of the items, but in any system, you're going to find that. We have our own disadvantages at being a country with a small amount of persons, and hence our order quantity is not one that appeals to the manufacturers, and so we always have to wait until they are manufacturing a drug in order for us to get it.
The Public Health Minister said a new building to house her ministry will be constructed in 3 phases.
The other item which Dr. Anthony spoke about had to do with our head office building. Now I know that is on their mind. They burned that place down and never rebuilt it. And as a result of that, the Ministry of Public Health is housed in several buildings across the city. And so it's very, very hard to manage in that way. For 23 years, they never sought to rebuild that head office back, but we are going to do so. And we're going to be doing it in 3 phases.
From Parliament Buildings with videographer Kareem Peters, Stacey Carmichael for InfoHub.
More government ministers and members of parliament took to the floor on the second day of budget debate. Minister within the Ministry of Finance, Jaipur Sharma, sought to correct the misinformation being peddled by the opposition in the National Assembly regarding the country's economic development.
It is clear that price of food is expected to increase by 3.4%. At the end of December, when compared with December 2017, and not 4.6% as this House was told. The House was similarly misled over the price of clothing, medical, and personal care by the honorable member. What is worse, Mr. Speaker, is that the trained economist, someone who aspires to lead this country, look at these percentage changes and sum them to come up with a whopping 14% increase in household expenditure. Mr. Speaker, any grade 6 student could have told this honorable member that this is incorrect.
Minister Sharma added that the capital account surplus has increased, for example, from $210 million in 2014 to $228 million in 2017, an increase of $17.9 million.
And $168 million in 2018 and 2019 respectively from the 2014 position. $70.1 million increase on budget 2018. I hope the honorable member, Mr. Speaker, is taking note of these figures.
In closing, Minister Sharma reiterated the coalition government's commitment to transforming the lives of all citizens.
If you could have a $300.7 billion when there's no oil, you could imagine 2020. What will happen?
Paul McAdam, InfoHub.
Still to come, early childhood program receives international acknowledgement and participants in the Youth Innovation Project of Guyana receive checks. Stay with us.
Being diagnosed with HIV can be difficult, but there is hope. Treatment is free and available at HIV care and treatment sites. Medications are easy to take and will get the virus under control. It is important to know the names and not just the color of medications. NGOs have workers available to help you learn about the pills. Talk to your health worker about your treatment program.
Welcome back. The second and final pair of boarding air bridges for the Cheddi Jagan International Airport have arrived. Ministry of Public Infrastructure's project manager, Carmichael Thorne, has indicated that the boarding bridges are on site and installation will begin over the next 2 weeks. He explained that it will take 1 week for each bridge installation. The foundation is ready for installation. After then, testing of the bridges will begin. By the end of January, everything will be completed. More on this story can be found on our website and social media. In other news, Guyana's early childhood care and education program gains international recognition. Alexis Rodney tells us more.
Guyana's success story was brought to the fore recently by the Chief Executive Officer of the Global Partnership for Education, Alice Albright. Back in 2013, the government of Guyana, with support from GPE, developed a program for early childhood care and education aimed at strengthening the skills of teachers, improving teaching and learning materials, and training for parents and primary caregivers. Research carried out by the Education Ministry had discovered that few children in remote communities were prepared for learning. According to Albright, Guyana is just one example of the huge shift in emphasis towards preschool education in recent years. She quoted Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry as saying, quote, "A story of growth, a story of hope, a story of encouragement, particularly for our most vulnerable and disadvantaged population," unquote. More than 8,000 children in remote areas of Guyana benefited from the program. The GPE CEO said almost 90% of children now master reading and math skills compared to 37% in 2016. Albright said that for the first time there is a global commitment on early learning in the United Nations agreed Sustainable Development Goal for Education, which specifically calls for children's access to at least 1 year of quality pre-primary education. The world's only partnership and fund solely focused on education in developing countries has invested about US $200 million in more than 35 partner developing countries to support early childhood care and education. Reported for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
The United Nations 2017 Human Development Index has ranked Ghana at 125 out of 189 countries and territories. This data has put the country in the medium development category. More in this report.
In its 2018 statistical update, the United Nations Development Programme reported that Ghana's Human Development Index value for 2017 was 0.654, 2 places up from 2016. The report stated that the 2017 HDI is above the average of 0.645 for countries in the medium human development group and below the average of 0.758 for countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. From Latin America and the Caribbean, those countries which are close to Ghana in 2017 HDI rank, and to some extent in population size, are Belize and Suriname, which have HDIs ranked 106 and 100 respectively. The HDI is a summary measure for assessing long-term progress in 3 basic aspects of human development: a long and healthy life, access to knowledge, and a decent standard of living. The Human Development Indices and Indicators 2018 Statistical Update is released to ensure consistency in reporting on key human development indices and statistics. With its comprehensive statistical annex, the information gives an overview of the state of development across the world, looking at long-term trends in human development indicators across multiple dimensions and for every nation. The 2018 update highlights the considerable progress, but also notes the deficiencies that need addressing. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
And in our final report, participants of the 2018 Youth Innovation Project were today presented with checks to begin the implementation of their ventures. Isaiah Braffett has the details.
Malika Russell and her youth group, Green Valley Organics, out of Kokwani, will have a venture based on sorrel production and adding value to it with the main focus on the manufacture of sorrel flour. Russell said that once the product is developed, it will create employment for young people within the community.
After we would have developed the product, we will actually employ more persons and get more persons on board to get the project up and running, so that we can employ more persons and keep the flow of money coming into our community.
Info Youth Group's project will see all of Ghana benefiting. This is according to President of the group, Adurim Prince.
The project is basically a air trolley that will be developed for the airport. It will benefit the whole country of Ghana, basically in terms of tourism, economy, and in terms of innovation, and will allow the country to be ahead of most Caribbean countries in this part of the world.
Director of Youth Melissa Carmichael Haynes encouraged the young people to ensure those in their communities benefit from their initiatives. The youth director also reached out on a limb, making a pitch to the groups.
We will hope that moving forward, your project will be a best practice that we can utilize not only in Guyana, but throughout the region.
The groups will have up to 1 year to develop their projects using either science, technology, engineering, agriculture, mathematics, or spirituality. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Your green tip of the day is for all of us in the office to buy and use recycled paper and safe printing on both sides of a sheet of paper whenever possible. Also, use refillable ink cartridges and set the printer to eco mode if it has one. Let's remind you that budget debate continues tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. DPI will continue to provide live coverage on Facebook, so do follow our page. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp and social media and follow our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.